Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Building Muster Minutes live on stream. It's episode 28, I believe, and we're going to continue working on it. We've got a version of the app deployed in production. We've got a production version that's running. That's kind of running. Feature flag turned off a bunch of features and the payment gateway, so you can sign up, but you can't really do much beyond that point. There's a few things I still want to do, and I'm trying to log a lot of those things in GitHub now and to record like what we need to do. Yesterday we worked on the ability to ensure the checkout session. We actually did two things yesterday. One of them was making sure that real-time updates apply. So one of the issues we had was when you upload your audio, we have to process it first. So we now process it, and then once we've finished processing it, we'll reload the browser for you. We'll refresh the browser on your side so that you can see that it's finished processing and then go into the payment flow. We also set up the checkout concern so that we can maintain the checkout session to ensure no one ends up having to pay twice. That would be a bit of a bug that would be quite annoying to have to deal with or resolve for someone. I don't want to deal with refunds as much as I can avoid it. So we did those two things. The next thing is kind of in the same line. I don't want to create issues where people lose data. And so the next thing that I need to consider is the removal process. If I log in, or actually I'll just switch over to this tab where I am logged in. On here, we can go and find a meeting or create a new meeting. And we'll call it today's date, so 26 Jan. And we will upload a file. So we'll use our Hello Cutie Pie, since that's the one we've been going with a lot, just because it's short, which means it's quick for us. You can see our work there yesterday, analyzing audio, placed with a pay button. We go through the payment flow. We'll pay, we'll get it transcribed using our super secret. Oh, it's actually the wrong one, isn't it? It's this way around. We set that up. Now I've paid, right? Okay, fine. I've paid my money to have this transcribed. At this point, I can come in here and delete the recording. What have I paid for? Nothing, because you've not clicked the generate transcription button, so we've not got the transcription. And you've deleted the recording, so I lost track of the fact that you haven't paid anything. That would be quite bad. You do have this meeting as well, so maybe we disable the delete recording button after you've paid. You've paid for it now, it's locked in place. But the meeting you could probably still delete. I think there's a gem that I want to install called Discard, not Discord, which is something different, but Discard. There is a gem in here that soft deletes. For Active Record, we are using Active Record. That is the library, the part of Rails that we're using to manage our database and stuff in our models. So we'll consider using include discard model there for our meeting. So meetings wouldn't be destroyed, they would be discarded, and the recording could be destroyed, but after you've paid for it, it becomes locked in place. That's kind of the behavior that I want to create here. And that's what I talk a little bit about in this issue, a little note to myself about what we want to do there. So there's a couple of things. This delete recording button, if it's paid, can't delete it. Let's try that first. So let's go into our code. I've also boosted up the font size a little bit. Hopefully this makes it a little bit easier to read on stream. We'll see. Cool. So we'll jump in and, well, let's start with the recording, right? So one of the things we don't want to be able to do is be able to destroy it. So the recording controller, well, there's a destroy action there. Return. What do we want to do here? If recording got paid, can't delete paid recording. And so if we refresh here and delete recording, not sure why it's going slow. Anyway, we got the error back. We haven't really dealt with the error messaging at the moment. Like, oh, interesting. Shouldn't have destroyed that. Wait, what? Ah, look, we didn't return. Return redirect. So we redirected back and then we destroyed the meeting. Again, something's going wrong. We've introduced some sort of slowdown, and so I need to investigate this at some point. Like, why is it going so slow? What is causing the slowdown? It was quick then. Oh. Observe log, clear, or refresh. I mean, okay, obviously there's a bunch of JavaScript files, takes 500 milliseconds to load, but once those are loaded, it should be fine. Okay, let's try again. We'll upload the Hello Cutie Pie. We upload it, analyzes the audio, and at some point it should mark as play. Show us as analyzed. Restarting worker. Yeah, see, I don't know what's going on here. Like, what is... Just gonna have to reduce the size on this a second while I figure this bit out. I'm very confused at what's going on with solid Q. Because it goes like failed execution, ready execution. Okay, so what have we got here? We've got this uninitialized constant solid queue ready execution. Is there any issues about that? Yes, there is. It was open 7 days ago. Code reload in development throws an error. When I try running solid queue locally in development environment, it works fine. I start a worker, then I change something in my code, and then run some job without starting the workers. Aha. I believe it may be some issue with class reloading in development. I'm using this config 7.1.2. Thanks, I'll look into it. And then let's see, what do we have here? So there's also another one here 7 days ago. I went through this yesterday. I think that generally happens when code reloads. You need to update to version 0.2.0, for which you'll need to point at GitHub versus Ruby Gems. Fix was here. So let's see. Actually, that sounds probably about right. We had a lot of slowdowns when this stuff happened. So if we look at our gem file lock, and then we'll search for solid Q. We see we're on 0.1.2. And then 0.2.0 couldn't be published to Ruby Gems, apparently. And now it's done last week. So perhaps I can just download that version now. So if we command pf, no. Gem file, solid Q. I don't know why I did that. That was silly. That was also silly. And then got. You know what? I'm going to switch back to the usual. We'll go. Not on that one. I'm kind of done with that one, but. There we go. And so I've updated that. We will do bundle install. then bin/dev. Okay, so let's see how that works. We'll go in here, we'll refresh, seems okay, and then we will go and edit some code, I guess. Did I edit some code already? Yeah, because I added this, right? 20J. Cool. Fine, so we have our recording. What was we doing? We got our recording, we click pay. 40. So we paid for our recording. Payment processing. Interesting. I haven't seen this in production before. In development, rather. There's the payment. Interesting. I had to refresh. Don't know why. Again, solid Q is a 0.2.0 release, but people are supposedly using it, so anyway, we have paid for the recording because we can see the generate transcription button. If I click delete recording, you can't delete a paid recording. Good. You can't. Not allowed. You're banned. Sweet. So we'll go back into here and now we'll find our record, or actually it's probably our meeting show page. And then here's our button. Let's actually sort this button out a little bit because the code here, the formatting is a bit all over the place because it's quite a long line. And then at the end of this line, we'll do unless at meeting.recording.paid. Have we paid for it? Go button to delete unless the recording's been paid. And then the delete button should disappear. Again, not sure why this is so slow. Something weird about this page reloading, you know? But hey, the delete button's gone. We can generate the transcript. This is the only place where this shows. I think we also have the transcription show has the same thing going on. So if I just Control O to go back to that previous page, 8J to go up, or 8K rather. So we'll do that again. Shift V, then we'll go 8J, and then we'll yank that. We'll go Control I to go forward. We'll go Shift P to paste that above. And then we'll go 8J, 8J, and then we'll delete that. Sweet. Sweet, yeah, so that still says meeting in here. Actually, is that right? You know, I guess meeting is in here because we are in the context of meeting, so... but I also could just do transcription recording. And this is the meeting meta, so hey. And then if I generate the transcription, there's no delete button here either. In fact, if you're on this page, it means you've paid probably, so you shouldn't be able to delete anyway. You know? Correct, you know, you can't pay. Can't get there if you can't pay. I have this weird height separator. I don't know. A bit weird, but I need to figure that out. I'm debating actually redesigning the layout because there are a few issues with the layout. Obviously, the things inside the layout are fine in themselves, but there's a few bits and pieces I don't like about how the layout is being built and being rendered. And specifically mobile, like this doesn't, it's not really mobile responsive, is it? And it's quite hard to make this mobile responsive in the way it's currently built with the current layout. I have to reconsider some of those details. I'm actually thinking about having, I'm not sure, I need to think about it some more. But the delete button's gone, and yeah, if I create a new meeting, I can choose the file, and I can go hello cutie pie, and I can delete. Oh no, don't want that. Oh, actually, I do want that. And so I'll analyze the audio, the pay button will come up, and then I can go through the flow as usual. Actually, I don't want that meeting. Now that meeting's gone forever, as with all of the recording and transcription and anything involved with that, which is where I think discard gem comes in. But actually, I think we're at a good point. Let's just see where we are, and then we'll commit what we've done so far. And so, I think that I could S. No, I need to use G0. Don't know. Anyway, the gem file, we added, obviously upgraded our solid Q version. That's updated our lock file. We added, hey, if the recording's paid, can't delete recording. And then we update our show to remove the delete recording button, and we updated our transcription to not have that button to delete. And so we can then do CC to commit, and we will do add kind of feature, kind of remove, I don't know. I guess it's a feature because, you know, we prevent deletion of recording after payment. Again, git commit an end. Don't know why I keep adding, you know, full stops to the end of lines, but hey. We'll add that in there, we'll commit that, we'll push that, that'll go live. And then the other thing that I'd like to do is discard gem. So we'll go open up this page, we'll go over here, and we will add discard. Bundle add discard. Is it just called discard? Looks like it. Yep. And then all we need to do is add this. When we add that, we also have to do a migration. So we can either add a migration by creating one ourselves or just running this kind of command. I think we're going to run this command. We'll do this, discarded at date time index. And yeah, sweet. So we will do Rails G migration. And then what did they call it there? They add discarded to at to post. Add discarded at to meetings. Discarded at date time index. That'll create our migration. And then we can go over to here. We can see that migration if we would really like to. It will probably be somewhere around add migrate discarded at. There we go. Add discard at to meetings. Interesting they call it add discard rather than discarded. It's kind of interesting they've word stemmed it somehow. I definitely wrote discarded at, right? No, I wrote discarded. Discard at. But hey, it doesn't matter. PowersDB migrate. And then what we could also do now is if we go to our meeting, we can include discard model. We've done that. That's now discardable. It means we have these new options. We have the dot kept, the discarded, the first, and then these things as well. So we have the ability to discard and undiscard and stuff like that. Cool. So, and then it mentions about working with associations. We don't really need to worry too much about the associations because you come into this via the meeting. Everything else is kind of associated to the meeting. So if the meeting is discarded, the rest is obviously discarded. We don't need to pass that all down in any way, which is why I've gone with this gem. And we're not discarding users, so I'm not worrying about any of that right now. Our meeting controller, destroy, discard. Is it exclamation mark? Is it not? I don't really know. With discarded, only kept posts, default scope. It's usually undesirable to add a default scope. It will take more effort to work around and will cause more headaches. If you need a default scope, it's easy to add for yourself. So we're not going to do that, we're just going to do dot kept. Discard true, discard exclamation mark. Chalk, how's it going? Hello? We just got that meeting. Good, about to head into the workshop. Nice, nice. The workshop. See if I can pop out that second wing. I'm old, did you say? Nice. It's a very liberal So now I can go into here. I'm going to create a new meeting. I'm expecting pro solving skills tomorrow. I'm hoping so. Thing is, I've been to a few, yeah. I've done a few. Which one is it? Because actually, I didn't get time to message back because I was in a meeting in the evening at the airfield. But I couldn't see the time slot in those photos. I don't know which one you picked. The Wild West one. Fire there. Oh, I see. Because it was. Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I did do that. But you sent the Wild West one as the first photo, and then so when I was swiping through them, I was only doing the 4. I've just noticed. But yeah. That's cool. That'll be fun. Discard model. Oh, I need to reload. Test meeting or discarded. Yeah. delete. Still there. But if I go refreshing. I was surprised at how late they go on till at that place. Like some of them were like really late, and if you're doing it for like an hour, like when you're starting at, what was the latest one? Is it 9:45? You're finishing at like 10:40. Like what? Okay. Suppose there's other things to do around there. Yeah, that's, yeah. I actually haven't checked the location, but I assume it's nearby. Mm-hmm. Discard the meeting. But now the meeting still exists. Curious, so if I go into Bob Beauty Pie and we delete this 0.3, it's obviously still there, but it's discarded. I want to create a separate endpoint for like discarding. Create a discard? I don't know. I'm gonna go grab water because my throat is starting to dry up, so I'll be right back. Back. Cool, so I think I'm going to figure out now, probably, I need somewhere to say, here's the discarded meetings. Archived. I probably want some sort of controller for that. Or a meetings archive controller. I guess I could go in here and just have like a namespaced archive controller.rb class meeting archive controller location controller, and then we'll do def show. We'll show the archive. It'll be like a resource that we have, and then we can just do meetings is meeting.discarded. Is that how that works in the library that I'm using? Yes. And then we'll go to the roots. And we will do get. All we can do, resource, archive, only show. Yeah, that'll do. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Actually, that's it should probably be more like namespace meetings do, and then resource archive only show. Meeting archives controller. Okay, fine. We'll name it archives. Now I'll complain about the should have been meetings. And now we're missing the template, which is fine. Meeting, show, we'll go there, come out of there, and then we will go and create a new folder called archives. And then guess we'll create a new file called show.html.exe. I feel like show is maybe the right thing here. I'm not really sure. Index. Yank that. Archived meetings, and then we'll render those meetings. Meeting? What the hell's going on, man? I don't know why it wants meetings. It's an odd one. I guess because I'm in an odd. That's odd. Render meetings. That should just figure out that, hey, like those meetings, the path should be not namespaced. I don't know why it's trying to namespace those. It's not one. I guess we could go at meeting first. Dot partial path. name is discardable meat. That was just the name that I gave it. Bob's Cutie Pie's in there as well. Guess we can ask ChatGPT. What's going on? I've got a controller, which is archives controller. And then I've got the archive show. And it's also like the meeting itself. Meetings is not right to render at meetings the show action of the archives controller, which is namespace. Then I get this error. Tries to render it as a namespace partial. Rails assumes the partials are located within the namespace of the controller. That probably makes sense, but doesn't make sense here. Can I do that? Partial meetings / meeting collection. I don't know if I can do that. I think ChatGPT might be just making stuff up. No, it does work. Okay, fine. There. Now I can go back to the archived meetings and see them. Obviously they are. There's delete there. Can't really delete because I've archived it. And then in the meeting show, or meeting list index actually, I guess we'll go to the bottom here and then do a link to archived meetings. What's the meetings archive path? Go down here, archive meetings takes us to here. Archived. And then I guess in here we can have a link to back to meetings. And again, stop with the got the back to meetings. You can come down here, you can go with the bottom, you can click archive meetings. That way we can't lose a meeting we've created. They just kind of go into here. If you want to actually delete, then this is where you'll do it from. Perhaps you can't see these. There's no point seeing them, perhaps. Perhaps just have the options to like unarchive, view and unarchive, maybe. That's the other option. I mean, you can get to these URLs, so I should deal with these URLs. Unless I block them. The other option. I really like the 37 signals have this concept of incineration. Active record incinerate. Like a delayed delete. And that would be kind of cool, like if you did want to delete something, then like it disappears after a period of time, perhaps. Or maybe I just have a job that's just like, hey, any meetings that are older than 30 days, like every day we just run a job and just grab all the meetings that are over 30 days that are discarded. And then they get destroyed. Or 90 days or something like that. You can just set a policy and it's just after 90 days the archive gets cleared. I could add that as a note and I don't have to build that until, you know, 90 days time. Discarded. Meeting will be deleted after 90 days. Just say that. Josh, my boy, how's it going? Hey, Bish. Good, thank you. Hope you're having a good Friday. And now I just need a way of unarchiving. Discard gem. Going well. It's been a chill day thus far, as every Friday should be. Good to hear. Good to hear. Undiscarded. Oops. Okay, cool. So fine, we've got the I just need some way of undiscarding these. Unarchive. Perhaps I do have like a destroy on the archive when you pass in you destroy a part of the archive. How much more from the list you've got to go on now? So I kind of finished that list that I had the other day because I do have a version of this like up now on a URL that you can register for and sign up. So I'm kind of counting. There is now a production version that I'm deploying to. That doesn't mean we've like launched. So I guess definition of done, we can debate that, but I'm done but not done. But there is a version that's live on a URL. It's kind of partially live because I have the ability of turning off the payment gateway feature flag. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's never really going to be done. There's always going to be something else I want to build on it. But like, there is a version up. You can create a meeting. You can upload the recording. That's about all you can do right now. In PostHog, I have the ability of controlling that gateway. So, I can go in here and see as well, like there's a bunch of interesting, there's like random people that haven't signed in, but definition of done I can't access. It's app.musterminutes.com. I haven't set a marketing page up. That's one of the things I probably need to work on at some point, like a marketing page. But yeah, app.musterminutes.com is the thing that should be accessible. You'll get this as the front page. Again, it's very buggy at the moment. There's no mobile responsive, so like, those are some of the things that we need to work on. And the bit that I'm currently working on at the moment is because I don't really want to open up the payment gateway part until I know that people can't like break it in a few ways that I'm like clearly obvious about. So deleting is one of the things that I'm kind of worried about. If you pay and then delete, now you've lost the thing you paid for. I've got to have to dig it out, refund it, customer support. So I'm just like, actually, you can't delete. And if you do delete, then it'll be 90 days before it's actually gone. Maybe if I need to, if someone really wants to delete something right now, I can add a separate like hidden bit. A little bit of time I'll have a play, see what I can break. Yeah, it's not much to break right now. But yeah, I'm sure there will be stuff to break, but yeah, there's a couple of issues I'm working through. So at the moment, there's a removal process. There's a couple of things, deleting the recording after you upload it. So you can now go in, this is what I've just done this afternoon. If you upload a recording, you can, this takes some time sometimes, and sometimes you have to refresh. It's fine that time. You can delete the recording now, but then if I upload another one and then click create recording, once you've paid, you can't delete the recording because you've just paid for it. Why would you want to delete it at this point? So now you can't delete the recording, but you could delete the meeting. So if I delete the meeting, meeting's gone, but if I go to archive meetings, it's still here. So because you've obviously paid for it. And then in 90 days, like if you really do want it gone, it will be gone. I think actually one of the things I would do is at the 90 days, for any paid meetings, maybe we just send you the data or export the data and just send it to you in an email or something. I don't know, that might be something that just safeguards some of that. Make sure that you've, like, the thing you've paid for, you never lose. But I don't have to worry about that for 90 days because it will just be stuck here. I'm not actually going to build the archiving because I've got 3 months before I need to worry about like the actual deletion part in theory. So yeah, so if they, not after they've paid. After they've paid for that meeting. They can't really change it. But if you create the meeting, you go in here, upload the file, and go. You can listen to the file before you pay, and obviously you've got the duration there as well. And then when you click to pay, it also says, "Hey, by the way, this is like 0 minutes 4 seconds." Hopefully that's enough to kind of trigger to go, "Oh, that's the wrong recording." Because after you pay, you've paid, right? Like it gets very complicated very quickly after you've paid. Sure, maybe you could say, okay, you paid for 4 seconds and you've not transcribed that 4-second audio clip, and then you could do it. But as soon as you click generate transcription, the work's being done. So, did you mention about the file name being shown on screen too? Yeah, I've not done that, but that's something I should have a look at. I need to design some of these screens up anyway. It's very functional at the moment. The pay here should also say like how much you're going to be paying and stuff, so fair enough. Sorry, throwing you off track for what you're doing. No, it's not a problem. Meeting discarded, fine that, undiscard, and then redirect to the meeting stored. I think that probably makes sense. And then I just change this to like meeting ID, and then if I go back to I suppose I can go to meeting meta, show meta if meeting dot discarded kept question mark, then you get to delete, otherwise the button is to like store, and then that will be delete as well. Weird that you're deleting from the archive. Should there be a restoration controller that you create a restoration? Kind of like that language more. Create restoration of a meeting ID, like a restoration controller. We've got the archives controller, and then we've got the restoration controller. It's more files, more code. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Oh, the other thing I need to do is go to the roots, and then you can do %i show and destroy. Yeah. Meetings archive path, and then it doesn't have any things, but there will be a like params where the meeting ID is the meeting ID. Delete to the comma. If I go in here, restore, delete. Show this meeting, delete. Archived meetings, restore all meetings. So we have this way of kind of going in and archiving the meetings we don't really care about anymore. And then what do I do about, like, really delete? Someone can upload, not pay, but then they have 90 days to confirm if they still need it. So I don't really do anything about the fact that you could upload and not pay, and it's not archived, so it's just sat there. This is like I've got lots of meetings in here. Most of them are junk from testing, but maybe I want access to them, or I've paid for them, or whatever, right? And this page is just getting too cluttered, so I want to delete some. And so I go, okay, well, this one I don't really need, so I can just archive it. I mean, this is an actual, it's not paid, so it doesn't really matter at this point. It doesn't matter whether you paid for it or not. Like, I can archive this. I can just go through and be like, actually, all of these ones were just from testing, so I can just go through and tidy it up. That's got stuff in it that might be interesting, but hey, let's archive that. I don't have to worry because they aren't actually getting deleted, they're just getting archived. And now I'm back to having a clean kind of list of meetings. When you get archived, yes, there's a link at the bottom, which actually I just need to, if I go to meeting index, perhaps I class button. Change surrounding. I'll make that a button and then it's clearer, perhaps. The other thing I can maybe do is, oh, I have flow on there already. So yeah, archive meetings down there. Perhaps I do data type secondary. Secondary just has a thing, so fine. I won't do secondary. Change surrounding. That's fine. So anyway, there's a button at the bottom. You can go see archive meetings, and you can see all of them in here. And then it just tells you, hey, like these will be deleted after 90 days. I'm still debating about whether there should be like an actual way of actually deleting. So you can still access them, and you can't ever actually delete them. They'll always be in the database unless you contact me, and then I can remove them or wait 90 days, and then at some point I'll build something that automatically removes them. So archive, it's only there for 90 days, but in the main bit you can keep them forever. Yeah, exactly. So if they're in here, you can just keep them forever. Like there's no... For as long as the service is alive and running, to the end of the internet or whatever, this will hold the meetings, as many as you want. storage is generally quite cheap, so view archived meetings. I wonder if there has to be some sort of note around this clearer. Let's bring up the storage question. Yeah, storage is usually quite cheap. Obviously they're in the database will grow, but it's generally not usually a concern. I'm kind of thinking here, I've called this like archive and restore, but really it is delete, but it's just going to delete in so many days. So perhaps I don't call this archive. Maybe there's another name for this that would be better. Yeah, I think I don't want to call this archive, at least not in some of the UI text. I think on the meeting index page, I'm actually going to call it like view trash. Too American. View deleted items. View deleted meetings. And you'll probably click on it and go like, hang on, I deleted those. Why is there deleted meetings? And then it will go show, and it will say deleted meetings. And then on here, you maybe say change IT. The meetings below will be permanently erased 90 days after they were deleted. This is where I'm like, delete has too many meanings and I don't really like it as a word, which is why I was leaning towards trash. Binned, I guess, would be the more UK equivalent. Kind of recycle bin, yeah. But the problem is it's different to a recycle bin because you control when you empty the recycle bin. Whereas here, like, they are going to get deleted. They get deleted automatically after 90 days. View recycling, well, it's like it's definitely a secondary. I don't think I want the class there. Perhaps I do margin top large. Is that going to work? It probably needs a block on there as well. There we go. View deleted meetings. view removed meetings. I want to make it clear, I think is my feeling with it, that like when you click this delete button, it will be gone. But if you screw up, it's okay. You've got a good period of time to realize that you screwed up and you needed that thing. And you can go in and grab it and fetch it back. I feel like maybe here would be okay. But like view trash. Maybe just trash is fine. I don't know. I'm being weird about the word trash. Trash can. It doesn't matter. View deleted means it's fine. Perhaps we'll refine it later when we come back and do a bit of a refresh on some of the design. I think the core thing is it kind of covers what I wanted to do, which was just make sure that these things are cleared out. And then if I need to, I can have a script that just automatically clears anything out that's older than whatever. Speaking of, I have a meeting now. Catch you in a few. No worries. Enjoy your meeting. Okay. Do we still want to call this archives on the URL? Bin.
You've been hurt before. Never meant to drop your heart onto the floor. I lost my mind. The words came rushing out in the blink of an eye. And I regret the things I said. I never meant to leave your head in a mess. Let go of your hurts and fears. I hope one day your demons disappear.
That'll do, I think, for now, and we'll push that live, I think. The archive thing is still bothering me. Maybe I change the name. Mr. What? Trash. Bin. I think I'm just going to change it to trash. Change to the C, the trash controller. Control J, Control K, U. And then Oh, and then I need to PG archives. Meetings, archive, Control Q. That's the quick fix list, and I can go Control A, Control J, and then we'll change that to archive to trash. Control J to go into this, go down to the next one, and then archive to trash. You delete meetings. The trash is controller. No. Inflections. Inflect dot irregular. Trash. Trash. We have to restart that because we changed the inflections. The Eagle of Triangle. There we go. Now we can see the trashed meetings. Trash show. Trashed meetings. I feel like deleted meetings make sense here. It's like, hey, in the trash is the deleted meetings. All your deleted meetings are in the trash. But then in the meeting index, this can be like view trash. Delete to the quotes. View trash. Perhaps I can make this text Valorous 800 just so that it stays the same color. You. View the trash. And then you're in here. And then perhaps if I can just do like a I could do something in here which is just like if meeting dot discarded at and if I view the trash I can look at one of these and go, oh okay, it was discarded on that date. Text center, is that right? Oh, but like MX Auto. This meeting was deleted on this day. And then perhaps this should be like the red or something. This meeting was deleted on. And then Rails to long FS or something. So perhaps I just do here like .2fs, and then we can do like long, maybe short. I don't really know which format I want to go. 26 Jan, 13 and 17. Lort, long, lunt. Okay. Oh right, we're on the old shuffle. Okay, cool. I'm actually quite happy with that. That feels like you can go in here, you can clearly see it's discarded, you can restore it, or you can view it, you know, do what you want. Stage all the things. The gem file, we added the discard gem, that's the lock file for that. Added a trash controller, added the kept to the meetings controller, ensured the meeting can be discarded by including the concern. Set the new meeting, what do we do there? We just changed the formatting of some stuff. We also added the linked trash. We added the meta, so if it's discarded, it shows a little notice now, and if it's deleted, you can now click restore there instead. Then there is the back to meetings. There's the trash, and then there's an inflection to make sure trash doesn't become trashes. Config routes adds that trash with the show and destroy actions, and then we've got adding the discard to the meetings, and then the schema changes as well. Cool. Feature, add, discard, trash bin, or keep meetings in the trash for 90 days. Push. I really need to do a leader P, like GP or something, git push. In this mode to just do git push or something. I need to figure that out. That's something. Cool. I probably should have closed this with that, but I didn't bother. So that issue is now closed. Did a comment. Fine. I do need to look at this. This is a pain. I'm really trying to avoid picking this issue up. But hey, you know, we have to at some point. Cool. Sweet. Makes it better. Okay, cool. Fine, let's see. There is actually another thing that I wanted to do as part of that issue that I've just closed, which isn't so much the removal process, but did I mention it in there? No. So I'm thinking that, like, when we pull the transcription in, we probably should store that in a separate column, have it stored twice. Possibly. So I'm thinking about here, right? We get an event from S3 that says, hey, your meeting's been uploaded, the transcription's done. And we just blindly go in here and update our transcription with that data. Now there's a couple of things I think about here. One is I could accidentally, like in the rich text editor, blast away all of that transcription data that I just paid for and then lose it and then have to contact support, which is me. That's one problem. Another problem is, what if S3 decides some reason, let's say actually, like, I, without thinking about it, move a bunch of files around in S3, all of those S3 events will get resent and they will blast over any changes that people have done to their files, which means they're effectively reverted back to what they were. And so I think for a number of reasons it probably makes sense to have a duplicate copy, the original source, and then also this data. And then I have a button which I can use to bring back the original into the data. So I can kind of choose which data to use if I want to reset somehow. And again, I am procrastinating a little bit because I don't want to have to touch the rich text editor. I'm kind of saving that for next week. That's going to be a next week challenge, I think. I don't want to sync my Friday into that JavaScript rich text editor. It's not fun. So let's do this. Let's add like an original data column perhaps to our thing. So let's just check our schema, or like our migration data to transcriptions. Okay, we called it JSON. So perhaps we go into here, Rails G migration, add to original data, and we'll just call that JSON column. Cool. And then let's also go Rails DB migrate. I assume that that's going to be the right thing anyway, so but let's just go check. Original. Add column to transcriptions. Original data is going to set it to JSON. I check the schema. And we look for the transcriptions. It's down there. There's the original data, and there's the data. Okay. let's go to the webhook. Transcriptions, webhook controller. So, original data will also be the s3 event.file. I'm kind of going to do that twice. That's kind of, we now have a copy of the data stored in the database. That will be good. What else do we want to have to do here? Well, I probably want to add the ability to not update this data if we have already received this. So we find the transcription. And I guess in here what I can do is I can do return if completed. Description. We've got this status. I'm curious as to how many other statuses I have. Status. Generating. That's for the minutes. That's the minutes. That's the minutes. There's this one, which is like whatever the status comes back from AWS Transcribe, we set that as our status. So I need to check what that is. There's this one, which is when we create and it says completed. That's the transcription result. Status. In fact, if I do Control Q, we'll add all these to our quick fix list. I'm still learning how to use the quick fix list, but I don't know how to remove from the quick fix list. Like, that one there isn't relevant. Okay, fine. I don't think that's necessarily that useful. Probably just easier to go and see, like, okay, transcription controller, pending dispatch. It's one, right? Never noticed that before. Can right click, copy in near them. That's, I don't really know why I did that. Why am I using a mouse? Don't use the mouse. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm trying to put all of the statuses into a enum in here. Something. Why did I try and use a mouse? What am I doing? I actually moved the mouse a little bit too far away from me, so it made it even more complicated. Completed. Completed. I do need to use a mouse for this. Choose a file, PewDiePie, create recording, analyzing the audio. Okay. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. So generate transcription in progress is the other one. So we can have one in here that is in progress. Pending dispatch, in progress, and completed are our status enums. And then if I go... That should mean I should now be able to go into Rails console and do transcription.last.status in progress or completed. Cool. Now I have that. That means in... What was I even doing? Where was I? This. You know? If it's completed, then it returns. It just does an early return. Says, you know what? Your transcription's completed. You've done it, mate. And it only gets completed when we set data in there. So that prevents us overwriting it. Which is good. Okay, what do I want to do now? Maybe we should have a way of like restore original data. Could do that in the front end. You know, I could make that mostly front end code. Do I want to? Not sure. You know, don't know if I want to do that. One of the things I like, just random thoughts flying through my head. This orders controller takes a recording ID. It probably should take a meeting ID because recordings aren't protected. So we've kind of done some stuff here. I think there's some stuff still left to do. I want to commit what I've done though and move on to that. Introduce new features. So perhaps it's more of a refactor. Prevent transcription data from being overwritten. Copy. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And then, yeah, I want to change some stuff in here. So there's a couple of things I want to do. One of them is feature flag. So if I project rep and do post hog, should have come back with something, that should have. Dot feature post hog helper. Interesting. I would have thought, oh, but maybe I needed to / $$ post hog is feature. There we go. Fine. Yank there, and then we will go to the order controller. You know, I feel like there's a better way of like auto indenting some of this stuff rather than having to do that. Kind of annoying. Return unless feature enabled. Just don't do anything. Like, you go away. Okay. So that's the first kind of main thing. I don't want you to go into this order controller unless this feature's turned on. The next thing I want to do is really like S recording becomes meeting. At meeting is that. Change the end line. That's actually meeting.recording. Return. Unless there's a recording present. Return. Unless there's a meeting present. So get the meeting from the meeting ID. If you're not signed in and you don't have access to that meeting, you're not finding that meeting, and therefore we're going to kick you out. We're going to return. The orders controller is not going to do anything for you. Then we're going to get the recording. Well, if there's no recording for that meeting, then we're going to kick you out. And then we create the checkout session for that recording, as we did yesterday, and then we redirect to the session URL. I think that makes sense. I think that just tidies up some of those loose ends that I've kind of cautious about before I just blindly commit that. How about we refresh? Again, I don't know why. The refreshing is taking some time. Delete that. Choose file. Upload, analyzing audio. Okay. Feature enabled, fine. That's why I didn't just blindly, you know, look at that. I probably need to include post hog helper. Perhaps don't refresh that, but we'll cannot find the meeting without meeting ID. Oh, because there is a thing that this order controller is submitted by. And so if we do pgrep and then we do here, you can see meeting ID. Can you pay? It goes through the checkout. But if I had disabled the feature flag, then it wouldn't have gone through. Fine. Sweet. I guess security issue or fix security issues. Is it a security issue or is it just a bug? Bug's fine. Fix. Or prevent. I guess so I can have someone else's meeting recording. I mean, really, all it stops you, all it would have allowed you to do is pay for someone else's meeting. But also prevent checking out via endpoint when feature flag is disabled. Push. Cool. Okay, that's that done. That solves that problem. Can delete that now. Let's go. And then, okay, fine. So what are we doing now? Try not to get into the transcription editor, but this, I'm going to go grab a drink. I'm really out of sync with the ads today. I apologise for that. If I run an ad now, maybe I just have to manually do the ads. I'm just doing it 20 minutes early. I need to go grab a drink anyway, so I'm going to be right back and then I will continue and we'll figure out what we're going to do next. probably should just run a minute and a half ads. I don't know why there was only one button for 3 minutes, so hopefully you don't get 3 minutes of ads. But I'm very thirsty there. I feel very dehydrated. Okay, I've got a couple of things I want to work on. It's either fixing this transcription editor and spending some time on that. Probably not a bad thing. It's kind of the core of the product. The other thing is to like spend some time building out the design of a few things, filling in some more details, kind of bringing that to life a little bit more. I want to do a bit of both. Going to go, and I think we'll do some design work first. Again, still procrastinating away, trying to avoid having to do any of those things, but let's see where we get to. I want to turn these into a grid, like this list of meetings. Like let's make use of this space on the side. And so I think what we'll do is perhaps we just do display grid. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. So we'll go on a composition. And we'll create a new one called grid.css. Nearly said validation there, didn't you? Did I say validation? Did I nearly say validation? I'm not sure I did, but okay. Maybe I did. So we've got our grid file there. We're going to go meeting index. And we'll just render these in a grid. You didn't say it, but you thought about saying that word. No validation. Okay, what are we doing here? I don't know, like, yeah, I feel like that makes sense. I just have a really wide screen, so it's I'm just going to quickly take a look and see what it looked like on my laptop screen. Sometimes that's useful to see. Okay. If I go back to that grid CSS composition min, maybe I change that up. You know, be good. I mean, I don't really know what this at supports is here for. I think this is because of the min not necessarily being supported in all browsers. I don't think we really care about Internet Explorer anymore. And I'm just looking at the, sorry, I got stuff on my other screen. I'll just bring that over. I'm looking at browser support for the min max clamp. And it looks like min is okay. Which means I can kind of consider removing those. leave me here. I'm actually thinking about having like a grid min 250 pixels. And then changing this to a var grid min. Like that. Or even setting a default in here to 250 pixels. And the reason for that would be then that I can go into the... I can go here. Can either do style and then just do grid min, and I could do, you know, 300 pixels. I can kind of adjust that property, and it just makes my columns bigger. Just sets the minimum of them. I could also make that a class tailwind utility. I think I'm happy with that, that's fine. And then this is going to render, no, not that, meeting / meeting, shows this. I think I'm going to use a layout here called stack. I'm just copying these from a tool that I grabbed in prompt. So we're going to go compositions, and we'll do space pv, and we'll call this one stack.css. Inf last child, and actually we're going to change that to 2. So what I'm thinking about is like having each of these in a stack to make sure that the things are all separated correctly. So let's now go back to meeting, stack. There we go. So the show meeting is all on the same base now. I don't really need the cluster. I don't know why I have the cluster. I could go down here and add a meeting, this tag, which is like duration. Perhaps we get like the meeting dot recording duration if it exists. Is it timestampify or something? Timestampify. I feel like these need some sort of background, so we'll just do BG white. Did I not do that? Probably because in our colours, white would be that. There we go. Does our Tailwind CSS support that? Our config file. Looks like it. P large. Make sure there's padding around those. Make sure they're rounded as well. I might move some of these into a block at some point, but I feel like the order of these often jumps around, and perhaps I need to consider the order in the meeting controller. Got order rated out descending. So like newest at top. I quite like that, and then I think what I should probably do is do little headings, perhaps, for like the month they were created in. So let's just what's in thing at the moment. Let's clear Harpoon out. Add this meetings controller. Find the meeting. Add that. Don't jump between them quickly. Meeting index. Add that. We'll actually move that up one. So it's the controller, the index, the meeting itself. So I can switch between those really quickly. And then I think what we'll try and do is figure out how I take these meetings in Rails and divide them by the month they were created in. So let's switch over to here. We can close some of these. We'll open up ChatGPT. I have a collection in Rails. I'd like to group it by the month that it was created, so I can render a header of name each month above the set of items that were. Probably wrote too much there, but hey. Group by created out beginning of month, yeah, makes sense. Okay, fine. So let's try that then. So we'll do meetings by month is equals to, yeah, thanks Copilot, doing the job for me. And then if I go to, so that's meeting created at beginning of month. Fine. So all the meetings that have the same beginning of the month will be grouped together. And so I imagine that's an array of arrays, right? So then let's go in here and do meetings by month for each. How's that looking? Yeah, kind of getting there. I don't know why it didn't need cluster though. You did not need to give that a class of cluster. Probably needed flow. Okay. Dot 2fs. Is it M or something like that? Like the month name? I don't really know how the dot 2fs works. String. Okay, fine, we'll do that one. Month year. 2fs I think takes the symbol, and I could perhaps create some date time formats that were just like month and year. Transcript only. Okay. If I view the trash, obviously these are all in there as the same. Deleted meetings. If I go in new meeting, best meeting. Do you wonder about adding a bit more space below each one of these? Be large. Oh, BRB screen, thank you. At least on the BRB screen, I have the screen kind of further in, so you can still see. But yeah, thank you. Margin bottom extra large. Wonder about making the whole thing clickable, because it's like actually the whole thing is just show the meeting. I feel like this needs a max width at some point as well. Like, this feels very wide. I think I'm gonna do. Let's go like meeting panel on there, and we'll create a class for this. Oh no, not there. That's the wrong place. Like on here, this one. Meeting panel. Perhaps we move some of these padding and stuff. Delete to there. It's still going to be a stack, but the white background and the padding, I'm going to make it the meeting panel. Yeah. Blocks. Meeting panel.css. Dot meeting panel. Background can be white. The border we won't worry about right this second. We will do something interesting with that. What do we forget? We got the padding. It's going to be far space large. I think I had it as, and then the border radius as. Well, it was rounded, so I guess it was just, I don't know, it was just a number, wasn't it? I don't think I have any tokens for that. Probably have to go in and restart this so Tailwind picks up. Did it auto do the ad as well? Anyway, I think it did. I'm out of sync. How annoying. Time since last ad, 24 minutes. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. Anyway, if I refresh, get all of that styling back. Now, I'm thinking. I know it's dangerous, but I'm thinking of doing this. A link to the meeting with the class of meeting panel and stack do, and then replacing this line, going to the end, replacing that with that, and then maybe even removing that. Oh, not that, too far. There we go. And just making the whole thing a link. Bit weird at the moment. It's not quite right. But if I go back to that and then do cursor pointer, I've noticed something weird lately with my with Brave. Like, it doesn't always, on certain screens, the cursor just doesn't really work. I don't know what's going on. Text decoration is going to be none. We don't want any of that. Get rid of that. Okay. And color just be inherit. Like, don't. No special colors. You know, the whole thing is clickable. Sometimes it has a cursor when it's supposed to. I don't know why it doesn't seem to really want to show the cursors when they're supposed to be there. Like, it kind of freaks out. Like, it cursor flickers as if it's like, oh yeah, I need to change, and it doesn't change. One of the things I want to do, there's no hover state, so what we're going to do is we're going to do at hover. And we're not going to add a background. I actually quite like to do this approach where I take an outline. We don't have color primary, but we do have color Glorious 800. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Is it not color Glorious 800? No, it is the right color. Perhaps we can increase this to like 4 pixels. And actually, I think one of the things that might be interesting is this color here. Porcelain 200. Okay. I want to split these two apart from each other, so let's see how I can do that. I could just add margin right auto. And then the new meeting button will shoot over there. Yes, I think I'll do that. So class MR auto. And then these feel ridiculously large. What if I set this to like 400 pixels? Does that not do anything? Are they already like 400 pixels max anyway? They're 544. So what's the point in having the... I guess that has to be... It picks the smaller size of the two. But then it also auto fits, so for 1FR. Maybe what I probably want is closer to a cluster. But like with a min... Yeah, do I want a cluster or do I want a grid? It's an interesting question. Do I page refresh at some point? Because... Oh yeah, because I flipped to check the ads manager. Anyway. Grid or cluster? These are the real questions, you know? I actually feel like maybe it would make sense to have one line. I don't know, that looks okay actually. I wonder actually if I do like a div, then like move that. I guess I'm going to do that and move that in there, and then move that in there. Then have a separate p tag, which is something like view meeting. I don't know why the refresh sometimes takes a little while there. Hey, how's it going? Kaminurikan. Sorry, I butchered your name there. Kaminurikan. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Then it's clear that you can click on these, I'm thinking. I feel like the min width probably has to be a little bit higher than what it is there. What is this? This is 310. So maybe 400 is probably a good. So we got that one too. Maybe I can get away with like 350. Yeah, so like 4 column grid on like a larger screen. And then on like a smaller screen, you end up with like the 3 column and then 2 column and then single column. And I need to set up like some of this spacing. If I look at my design tokens spacing, I have some down here which are like large to 3XL or 0 to large. And perhaps I need to consider some different options here, because maybe 0 to large. What do we have at the moment? So if we go to our application layout, we have currently got a padding on the sides of large. So I do 0 to large. Is that right? Design tokens, spacing, 0 dash large, yeah. Application layout. The idea here is when I start reducing the size, it becomes almost 0. But obviously I haven't applied that to the top part, but it just means that I need to apply that. So let's go find... Ah, where was that? I added it there. Maybe it was just on the header. Oh, it's the toolbar that's doing that. I think. Yeah, right. We don't have a toolbar there though. What is this? What is this? Where does this come from? And then the div after. It's the after. So the header after has this like fixed thing. Header CSS. Oh, it's been a while. I need to change this because this is just ugly. This is a lot of ugly CSS. But I think this here is the 0 to large. There we go. So that's FreeXL there. And that, so P3XL is one that I have like large to 3CXL. Up here, so I can do on a smaller screen, it's going to be large, and then it's going to be 3XL on desktop. Because on this big screen, it's quite nice to have a lot of space. But as you come down on that smaller font size, kind of just needs to tighten up a little bit. That feels nice. So all of our spacing is dynamic in the way that I've set this up. Okay. This is add meeting, new meeting. It really should be like add new meeting, add meeting. And yeah, that's a button. I don't really like the duration. Let's see if I can grab an icon from hero icons or something. I'm going to add like a little time icon, a little clock. Download that SVG. We don't need to download it, we'll just copy the code. We'll swap that out with that SVG. And we'll see what that looks like. It's a monster. There's no classes on it, so I'll just class W4. Is that going to work? Height 4. I don't think I have the height 4 W4 stuff on here. I'm also surprised it doesn't already have that class on it. Doesn't. 23 pixels. Height 24 pixels. I don't know why I've done 23. Like, what a weird number. I just randomly picked out the hat there. A class flex align center. I don't know. I always align center is what I wanted there. We can do like gap 2 or something as well. Gap small. Extra small. Maybe extra small. Doesn't exist. let's just do a gap with a preset like 4 pixels. And then we can also do like the fill is none, current color. 18 pixels, I don't know. Align item center is now not working. So like what's going on there? You know, like, hey. Item center. Is there a better one? Like, because that's is there different modes? There's like a fill. 20 pixel solid, 16 pixel. I'm wondering whether I probably would prefer ink to space, paste. Oh, obviously, because there's a space there. H. Let's just do 20 pixels because that actually matches closer to like what the original thing was. You know what I just did there? No, that is the same. Yeah, okay. Did I copy the wrong one? 20 pixels solid. This one, you know, this one here. Click to copy an icon. That one. And then I can put a yank to the second quote. No, it doesn't work. If I do V and then do and then yank that and then do that, that will get what I want. Delete 2J, that will delete what I want. We'll go back here, we'll refresh. Done all of that, and now I'm like, don't love it, don't love it. What if, you know, let's hang on. Loris 700, let's give it a different color, because I think it's just the text color, it doesn't really suit the text color. Text Loris, and I'd usually go lighter shade, you know. Too light. Unless, you know, you go like a faint kind of backgroundy. It's the wrong side. What was the other one? Porcelain. I mean, this whole line could probably be text porcelain 300, you know. Maybe not 300, that's not going to be very accessible, but like 600. And then we could also include some information about like how many people are in there, right? So that could be an interesting piece of information. So let's do the participants dot count participants. 8 participants, 0 participants. These ones have information about how many people are speaking. What about if these paragraphs were like in a div? In a div, mate. And 7k. And that div was like a cluster. So then they like all sit next to each other. And this VIW or VIW, not quite, but sure, we'll yank that. That will. No, not quite, not quite. E? Yes, get rid of that. We can delete to the quotes there. Same with, yeah, we'll try it on there. No, that has to be that. Is that P there? Like, what color is that being computed as? Color porcelain 600. Cool, so the inheritance is working there. And then let's do like people. Check that I'm actually getting the right icon there. And then gap 4. Okay. I feel like actually the icon is off here. Like it says items justify. I don't even know if, is that a thing? Is that a thing? Justify items. Line items, baseline. I feel like baseline might be more. Look. Baseline. Okay, that's not right. That's not what I want. That ain't it. What do we want? None of those. I actually feel like it's probably better without it for this one. You know? It actually kind of looks okay without it. Maybe it's a bit too high, but before it was a bit too low. Now I'm looking at it, it looks too high. Yeah. center, I guess, and then we can maybe nudge it if I need to. But now the more I look at it with the icon on the left, I'm like, maybe it's okay. Perhaps it's just because 0 is very tall but doesn't go down too low. I feel like it needs some more hover state. And maybe like different status. Obviously at the moment I'm rendering this information, but what meeting has speakers? No. Has participants. Which generally are speakers. So I'm just gonna see all the speakers. I guess I should wrap. Participant list. This one I can only show if you've uploaded your recording. So perhaps there's like a if statement around that just says, "Hey, have you uploaded this recording?" I'm also gonna have to quickly just on the screen again. There we go. So, what are we saying here? We're saying if the meeting recording present let me show that. I don't even need the words. Is the word just verbose? Just show the count. 4 people. One person. 4 people, 8 people, 0 people. 18 minutes 57 seconds, 4 people, 8 people. Yeah, and I guess again, like a similar, like if there's no people, then don't bother showing. If meeting.pod unless there's any of those, no point showing this next bit either. 5J, oh, hang on. 5J, end. Actually, if again, unless it's such a bad, whenever I think about using it, I don't know why. View meeting. Well, this is an interesting thing because it's like actually, I don't know, maybe I tell you what to do here. Like this one. Upload recording. Yeah, I don't really like the header at the moment. Bothering me about the not being able to see the thing. If I go to like Safari, maybe. Gosh, at musterminutes.com. Do it here either. I feel like it's a thingy issue rather than it being a. Also, the image isn't loading. I don't know what's going on there. Like the cursor should be pointing. It's a link, right? But something weird with cursors on my map at the moment. Cool, okay, fine. So we have grouped the meetings by the date they were created. Really, it needs to be the date they are happening. Probably would make more sense. For now, let's just use the created at date. And I just want to kind of show the date in here as well. Perhaps that's a separate paragraph where it's like meeting.created at .2fs long. That looks okay. I'm actually wondering about whether I move some of this information here, or maybe even the date as a side. Date and time does make sense if we're thinking about like being a meeting at a specific time as well. This metadata feels a bit out of place now for those meetings. What if that metadata actually went above? I'm not sure like that, because then it means that these ones all get positioned down, maybe. Oh, what if we put the date above? There's always going to be a date, right? So kind of create this hierarchy where it's like the date is at the top, then the name, and then this metadata. And then I feel like class, maybe not there, but like here, MT small, like a bit of padding, just a bit of margin here, just to separate those a little bit. This colour at the bottom is not right for me. I feel like it feels like it should probably match whichever the heading is. I don't know what the heading is. 700. And in these ones, I've got it. This is where the sidebar layout comes in. We've got enough space here to have a sidebar. And you're thinking like, well, hang on, what do you mean a sidebar? In here, these can be split. There's a lot of space. So we can have like some of this cluster of information. We can put it over here, make use of this space more efficiently. Have like less high, but like more information spread out. And for that, we'll make it technically a sidebar. In fact, do we even have the width sidebar composition in here right now? No. Okay, fine. So we'll create a new file called sidebar.css. And then we'll just copy these across. I'm just checking the details on these. So this is what we're looking at here. We've got the width sidebar and flex wrap. We're going to have a gap. We're going to use our space large, maybe. In fact, for this, yeah, space large is fine. We can customize this at some point. And then our first child is going to be flex grow. Actually thinking I'm swapping these around. because change to the first child. Okay. I'm going to come back to this. Control E, remove, get rid of the meeting panel one. Not sure I want to do that yet. So, what I'm thinking about here is we kind of have concept here where this is a sidebar, or there's kind of two different elements in here. This one here goes up in there, right? We've got our first, think about this as two separate sides. We've got the left side, which is going to be the created app of the meeting and the name, and then the right hand side, which is going to be a cluster of information. The left hand side has to be at least 50% of the width. That's our first child. So that's how we did it over here. Not there, but like this one. With sidebar, the first child, the flex basis of 0, but it has flex grow of 999. So it's going to take up as much space as it can, whereas the last child is going to grow only 1. So it'll grow enough to fill the content it's got, but it won't take up an equal amount of space. If I save that, save this, and let's just see what we have. These haven't really changed, but you'll notice down here we now have this information on the right hand side. Did these not have... yeah, that one doesn't have people anyway, right? Actually quite happy with that. I feel like there's more space, and that's probably because I went with large on here rather than... doesn't really need to be large. Small probably would have sufficed. And so perhaps let's delete some of these meetings. Get this closer to what looks like the other ones. You'll see that it has the cluster on the right hand side. Feels like a more adequate, balanced use of the space in there. Quite happy with that. And let's bring those meetings back. Actually, let's view the trash. Go down. On this discarded out, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit here, but let's go to our trash controller. Let's just order those. So order discarded at descending. So things I discarded latest should be at the top, maybe. Yeah. Restore. 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 Here we go. The only bit that I'm considering here is just maybe the alignment. It's because the cluster has the margin on the top. Well, because we now have the sidebar, we don't need to worry about that margin on the top of the cluster. Get rid of that. And that will actually help reduce some of the spacing here as well that felt a bit too much before. Yeah, so that brings that in a bit tighter, but it's still spaced adequately. And then it brings that in line, kind of in line. It's still not quite in line. What else? What other spacing is going on here? Oh, the cluster is flex aligning items in the center. That actually feels probably appropriate there. The other option would be to baseline or top. But I think once you have more items, it probably makes more sense to be at... No, I think let's try it with the... We've got the cluster here. We're going to do flex items top. I believe is the override there. Is that not right? Oh, but the paragraph item center. Align item center. Oh, it'll be start. Start. There we go. How's that feel? Feels okay. And as we reduce the size at a certain point, I mean, obviously all of those things become there. I think one of the things we want to do on that with with the sidebar is just perhaps the minimum size of this can probably be a bit higher, 70%. So that way we don't encroach the text too much. So you see there, as soon as it encroaches the text a bit too much, then it, and this recording one, in fact all of these down here, they all snap down there to the bottom before this gets too encroached. That feels okay, feels quite comfortable, but then at a certain point it would have cut the text a bit too much. Nice, and when it has two, it looks like it's always going to be there with the thing. Cool. Do I want to do any more on this? Okay. I think I want to make the next thing I need to do is, before I kind of commit this, I could probably commit fine now, but one of the things I'd like to do is have it so the right at the moment I'm using created at, that's not the right thing to be using. I need like a meeting start time, and so start at column in the database. I think that's what we'll do next. Let's go Control B free. Let's go to the third thing. We'll go Rails G migration. Add to meetings. Start at date time. Is that right? Is that the correct thing? An index, I assume. Actually, the discard gem that I did earlier had something about this. It was very similar. Date time index, yeah. So I guess we'll just do start at date time index. And then we'll check out that migration. Start at add index, add column. Can I set null false on it? Now, if I'm doing that, I need to also make sure that meeting, well, I've got to do, yes. And then change column null start at false. So if we set that to null and then set that to not null after we go through and update all of the thingies, that should just ensure they will have a start at. So then do Rails DB migrate. Oh, I'm missing something. An end. Probably makes sense to have one of those in there. Cool. So now I can go Control B1 and go back to here. And instead of this, it's now start at. And that should all still be the same. But we'll be using that in a bunch of places. We are also going to have an ads now. I have got the ads on the auto pre-roll, just so that people don't have to do pre-rolls when they join the stream. And also I get to take a quick break as well. I'm going to top up my water and go grab some drink. And then I'll be back in a moment. So I'm going to be right back. And yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Watch my life pass me by, never knowing where I belong in the web of love and lies. As you string me along, and I can't breathe, I can't see. I'm losing sight of everything. I feel the walls closing in.
Back. Cool. Let's see. So I now have started out. I need to ensure that that's how I'm using start at for there. Start at for that. Now, I have kind of created a problem because I can add a meeting. I can't add a meeting. There's no start at. It's a not null constraint on the meeting. So, meeting. Well, I guess we need to add some sort of validation in here. Start at presence true. We need to make sure that we do have a start at time. If we go in here, start at can't be blank. So that's now a problem in our form. We're gonna have to go to our form for our meeting, and well, I guess we can just go here, grab that, yank that, paste that down there, add a space above it. In this range, we can probably just do s name becomes start at, and then the text field, well, I guess we can just do s text becomes date field, and maybe that's okay. Okay, well, we kind of need a date and a time, so maybe we could do date time field. Yeah, there we go. There's our date time field. And then we can set new meet. Well, we're not quite done. Meeting controller. Go over here. We'll find our meeting controller, and in our meeting params, we'll accept a start at as a trusted parameter. A trusted parameter. This is my meeting. And it's going to be on the 20th of February 2024 at 6:30 is usually when we have our meetings. Start can't be blank. What you chatting, Willis? What are you chatting, Willis? Why? What do you mean? Meeting controller? We've added it there. Did we not save the file? Meeting params. Okay. Well, there it is. You permitted. Meeting form. It's there. Form. Start at. 20th of 02 2024. 18:30. Okay, it allowed it that time. And if we go to all meetings, there we go. There's our February meeting. I'm going to choose our file. We'll have our Hello Kitty Pie. Analyze the audio. Oh, you can hear a high pitch noise just now. Once the audio is analysed, we pay our super secret card as always. And then we come back, generate the transcription.
Listen to me speak, but just do what you want. What words will you keep? The ones that cause us harm.
Nice.
You assume the worst.
And now, if we refresh, we should have one speaker, Bob. And we go all meetings. There we go. There's our information about that over there. At some point, it snaps in. I don't know how we've got recording and details about a meeting that hasn't happened yet, but we do, apparently. We need the ability to change the date of the meeting, because I don't currently have that. We have this edit here for the name, but nothing for the date. I need to figure that out. But I'm going to consider a different redesign at some point anyway, so. Speakers, we can add that in there. Happy with that. Looks good. Looks good to me. We did a lot of files there. Let's stage them all, and then I'll review them quickly. So header, we kind of changed up the header. We had to bring in the 0 to large just to make sure that mobile is starting to look okay. We added our meeting panel block. That's fine. Our grid block all looks okay. Our sidebar block, composition, these are compositions, the grid and the sidebar. And this is kind of, I'm modeling this on Cube CSS. Talked a little bit about that in some of the earlier episodes on this, but the idea there is everything that I style is either using a composition block or composition utility block, or I can't remember what E is in Cube, exception. Essentially like the one of the exceptions on grid, oh no, which one was it? On the stack could be the block split. At the moment it's just saying, hey, like split so the very last div is at the bottom. But if I needed to customize that, that might be an exception. So we added a trash controller. That was also done in here. We kind of did a lot in this one commit. And so naming it is going to be hard, but it's kind of a meeting grab bag. We added the ability to discard meetings, and then we just started going into styling it all and all of that. So anyway, that's, if I was really being precise about my commits, maybe these are 2 separate commits. For me, on my own project, I don't care. It's not that deep, you know? Just not that deep. Just checking these, all look okay. Yep, that's fine. Again, I like to use classes that allow us to customize the space between mobile and desktop using the clamp. Added the white color. We didn't need it in the end because I didn't use the CSS utility for the color because I moved it into the thingy, but we'll keep it in there because we need it. And cool, I think that's all looking good. I'm going to commit this. It's really a feature, like there's a whole bunch of stuff, but implement it, like ability to discard meetings and general design touch up improvements or do design, I don't know. Meetings can no longer be deleted, only discarded. After 90 days we will opt to remove them from the system, erase them. Okay, get push that up. And we'll go live with that. Cool. Just checking some stuff. I apologize for the delay. Cool. Sweet. I'm quite happy with this. It's looking good. That will go live into the production environment, and then we'll be able to see that in there once that goes. Making good progress on this. I'm quite happy with how it's coming along. We are going to have to tackle next week. This transcription editor is going down. We're spending some time on it. I also want to spend some time on design in general. I just really want to get, like, we have the end-to-end flow, and now it's all about fixing the bugs and adding the polish. And I actually really enjoy some of these little details that we've added in today here on this page. I'm not entirely happy with this page. The blue is getting to me a bit now. There's a bit too much of the same shade, maybe. I just feel like it needs some color or something to make the page pop. But it's coming together slowly. I need to figure out the toasts as well. Like there's some little detail polish pieces like that I want to clean up. But yeah, it's coming together, and then we will have to clean up this page as well. Some of the flow I need to figure out, but we'll go through it bit by bit and make sure the flow all looks good. Perhaps we'll consider doing some of this stuff in a modal. Perhaps that'd be interesting to do. Having a modal pop up for that. And then, yeah, we'll have modal pop up. that'd be interesting. And then we do need to get into here and clean this up. Some issues with this. But we have an end-to-end flow and it's coming together, so did that go live? We got it in production. We do. app.musterminute.com. See here live changes with those meetings that I have, and we have trash now, so you can see those deleted meetings. And we need to tidy up some of these pages as well. But yeah, I think I might have this hover state carry round throughout the site. So even that's interesting that the outline has the cursor, the box doesn't. It's almost as if like I need to add some sort of like A. Everything inside the A has cursor pointer. But even that doesn't really. Don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. That's a bit odd. Cool, so it's yeah, blocks you from doing the invalidate. That's the browser validation though. Cool, okay, fine. So I've got a meeting as well that I'm going to upload into this and go through the tests. So I do need to get the transcription editor working next week. That's going to be the #1 plan. I think I'm going to call it there because I actually have to get packing because I'm away this weekend, and so I need to drive this evening, and I need to pack my bag before I get in the car to drive to where we're going. So I'm going to have to call it there. Thank you for hanging out and everything. Been fun. We'll be back on Monday. Next week's going to be a bit of a weird week. I'm here, there and everywhere, so we'll have a stream Monday. That's the plan. Tuesday will be, I'm not sure I'm going to fit a stream in Tuesday. My parents are getting internet fitted and I have to go to theirs to see the guy, and so hey, do that on Tuesday. Wednesday, probably have a stream Wednesday. Thursday will be a no stream as well, unfortunately. I might, yeah. Thursday my car is being cooked, so might be able to get a stream. We'll see, it depends. Lots of unknowns about next week. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday should be set as the stream days. But yeah, hope you have a good weekend. Bye.